challenge on this one. It's probably just looks like he's going to be elevated, queuing over. Oh no, he's just beside the red, but always a little bit challenging when you've got an obstacle in the way of your bridge. No problem.
What obstacle? What red?
Look at that position. Fantastic
listen
shot.
to the crowd as well.
See, really awesome facet of the Blackpool rules here is that, with Kerry being on yellows, and even though that red's blocking the corner, Kerry has the ability to pot his yellow and cannon the white into that red and pot it. He's got the option of continuing. So, and what
here we go. Here's a skill shot.
Example of a skill shot, played to perfection. So she got to about 10 all. It had been tit for tat from 7 all, 7-8 around the interval, and then Adam turned it on the home stretch right at the right time to take out the last few frames.
Lovely shot there from Baden.
So sorry, was Baden in a total snooker before he played that shot? Because he didn't hit a rail after contact.
Oh, he's done it again.
Man,
he's done it at least the third time in this game. He's played a shot where you're like, what?
Outrageous shots. That was filthy. Oh, and again, what a shot! And I'm just struggling to wrap my head around the way Kerry's playing at the moment. There's just some of the more simple shots you expect him to get right. He's getting slightly wrong, but then
see what he does here, but it might be a double in fact. It looks like he's going to have a go at this. Going for the middle pocket. Have a look at this, folks. What a shot that is. Kumar Balachandran would be proud of that. That's not close to the pocket either. This would be an amazing shot if he gets it. Oh, he did! What a shot that is! It's magical, it's mystical, it's the man right here. First thing I'd do is use the extension.
Looks like he's going to try something with that one now.
Oh, triple, yes! That was the next shot that was going to pop into my mind, but he's played that so beautifully. Like 1-2 rails, didn't even touch the yellow, and in she goes. Beautiful. It depends on the situation of the game. If it's just a normal shot, if you hit your ball first and pot your opponent's ball, oh, what a shot that is. Not so rudely interrupted there.
That spin will just flick the red a little bit and straighten that red up on contact.
Now you can see this, he's queuing it just at the bottom, and that's just so good. What a great shot to come out of there. That's actually, what do you reckon? Do you think that cut may be on?
Oh, I definitely think it is. I don't know if he'll go for it because it is easy to play safe. For me, I would be.
Corner. Got it.
What a shot.
Don't even doubt him. At the moment, the way he's playing, it's almost automatic, this, isn't it? It just looks that way. Yeah, not up and down table is not really an option. With that same yellow being there. He's going to hurry out. Oh, he got it. Did he get on the black? Yes, he did. Bang, in she goes, and doesn't he just love that? So 4-1 Adam Lilly, this spectacular shot helping him to get there. Then you look at he did. A bit unlucky with where the blacks ended up, but he's left himself the red.
Oh, not many of us do, John, but you do a great job for the game. Not,
Oh, this time he was trying to do it.
what a shot. Shot of the tournament. Shot of the tournament right in.
Oh, have some of that.
Yeah, make sure of it, Tara says. Big right.
Simon's got a few choices to make with this. He looks like he might be trying to play this as a safety shot here. Oh no, he's going to cut it down the rail. Oh yes. That's yummy.
Mike's wrong.
Right, here we are back with Simon versus Adam. Welcome back, John. Sorry that you're here.
Thanks, man.
Otherwise you'd still be playing.
Yeah. I said that to Mike Hayes. It'll stop hurting at some point.
Yeah.
I didn't disgrace myself though, so that's the main thing. I gave Wellesley a really good run for his money. I was happy with the way I played. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
He's a great player though,
Yeah.
so losing to him's not
rename him too, John.
not a bad thing. So was it dry from Simon?
I believe so. I see 7 of each colour on the table.
Adam's at the table, so it's a pretty good hint. Go on reds, clean up the top here.
It's funny how we miss that too. I mean, you're actually watching the table and not watching who's at the table. It can be easy to miss what's happened off the break or off a certain shot.
Yep.
Oh, really? I was just looking at the draw for the flyer event, and I noticed that Sydney Bernard and Blake Bernard have been drawn to play each other in the first round.
A bit of inter-house banter going on there after.
I also see the 2 Poms are playing each other as well.
There we go. Has Adam got enough angle here? I think he does.
It's just off straight, but
pick your gap here.
Yeah, if you can play with a load of bottom right,
okay.
it was to get it there.
Lovely. Pick the gap, perfect.
Yeah, if the shot was dead straight, he could still play that shot because he'd take the rail and the right hand spin would take it to roughly where it is now. And if it's not dead straight, he can play it almost as a wee punch draw shot to get it there. It's just like as anything, it's to have the confidence to play the shot under pressure. And there's no greater pressure in my eyes than playing Simon Singleton.
How many times have you played Simon in the past, John?
Maybe once. I'm drawing a blank actually as to whether I've genuinely played him before. I'm sure I've played him once, and I'm pretty sure he beat me too.
Yeah, my first experience is him and Steve beating me and Louise up at the piers. Oh, look at that posse.
Yeah, so
great.
beautiful. Just couldn't have stuck it in a better place. Couldn't have stuck that in a better place either.
Well, it was a quick frame.
It was, and Adam Shaw taking his chances, which I didn't do in my game. That's why I lost. That's why I'm here. But Adam Shaw showing us all how it should be done when your opponent dry breaks.
Especially with them all kind of lined up there. He just had to have that one positional shot to come back through the middle.
Yeah, and so often that's what separates the great from the excellent, is they all pot balls really, really well, but then it's that one shot to get to the other side or the other end of the table. They execute that and they're away again. If they get that wrong, it stops that clearance in its tracks, and more often than not your opponent gets into the table and it looks pretty good.
I guess the excellent part there from Adam was he was plumb online for that next ball, so he really didn't have to work the ball again after that first shot, which was probably the best part about it.
Yeah, I mean he was nails on his position, wasn't he? He didn't have to do any searching, as it were. And it's so important in this game is that you make everything as simple as you can. I mean, things go wrong very, very easily in this game, and if you can simplify it and be exact with what you're doing, then that's again what separates the great from the excellent here. Yeah,
you're kind of missing taking the hardness out of it and trying to simplify it down to just making a good, easy, straightish pot with a natural angle for your next ball.
That's what one of the things that Adam Lily lives by, isn't it? Is
Mhm.
the KISS principle.
Yep.
Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overcomplicate it. The game's complicated enough as it is. Just break it down. Ferry's overscrewed that. I think he wanted to be on the rail there.
Yep, now he's got to
That
play that
angle.
little off angle, and then just try and hold this red up. Either get it out a little bit or get it out fully so it'll go to the bottom left.
And this is a great example of being nails of the position, because this becomes missable from
Yeah.
here. And that also becomes possible. See how your angle changes so
Yeah.
much, you're
Yeah.
having to mitigate it.
Yep. Last thing you really want to do is give a ball in hand to Simon.
Yeah, so he had to cut that instead of playing it relatively straight. So he went from knowing where his cue ball was going to not really knowing where his cue ball was going, and of course that impacts every other part of your shot, and sometimes they add up to something that's not two.
So here Simon
The top one of those three, because if he follows through,
he's going to nudge into that other yellow, hold up onto the red for the leftmost yellow of that triangle. So that's his next ball, I'd say. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what he could have done there is he could have tried to split those two yellows and ended up on either or, but he always had that one to the middle in case he didn't.
Yeah.
So it's knowing that you've got a plan B.
Wonder if his plan was always to go to the one over that middle pocket after that,
Well,
and it
could well have been,
didn't
yeah.
matter.
Because that was your other problem, wasn't it? You get rid of that, and then the other one
You're
comes
getting
on.
rid of the two down the table as well, so now he'll just work with these last three down the bottom in time.
And it's a player separation, because some players would have seen that shot and tried to get perfect on those two other yellows in that trio.
Where he didn't really worry about that.
He didn't need to.
He just kind of went, oh, I'm already going for this other ball over the middle, so it doesn't matter where I put that yellow.
Short here. You want it to be probably about 100 mil further up table.
You might try and hold this with some left, or how's he gonna?
No,
Is he just
it's
gonna
not gonna hold.
reroute to the bottom left?
It won't hold off this rail and with this cloth, because this table's just been brushed. I think it'll just carry on.
Here we go. Taken the other way.
Oh dear.
Oops.
He was meaning to hit the red, but he wasn't wanting to put it there.
He's gonna play safe here.
I would imagine so. I just wonder
Depends
if
if that yellow pots, so he might try the cut, but if it doesn't,
I don't think it's worth trying to cut, because he's going to have to control too much there. Also, all three of these reds, I believe, are on, so I think he'll be looking to tie something up. Or
as long as
play
that
for a snooker.
yellow must be not resting on the rail, right? So he'll just. Nope.
Ooh, okay, he went for it.
It must pot.
Yeah.
It must pot.
Yeah, and he's just decided, well, I got myself into this mess, I'll get myself out of it.
Yeah. Wasn't a bad attempt.
No, it wasn't, but a few mil either way, and it could very well be a frame difference. We'll see if Adam can make that so.
Yeah. Back up table here.
Cued it beautifully, didn't he?
We'll just float this up towards the middle pocket.
Well, it depends on how much he wants to bite off here.
Yeah, so
I
he's,
think that goes. You see how he's cued it.
yeah, so he's going to want to put the white like where his hand was, anyways, right? So
Yeah.
he'll try and float this up towards the red, and then just pull it back and take that pot to the bottom left.
Ooh, baby. That's
Okay.
okay. Could always go the other corner pocket if he's off angle too much. He's got the option.
I guess this will tell us how big that gap is for the bottom left.
Dear. Well, you ask why, but obviously it's a shot that he likes, is to really power it and take the guesswork out of where the cue ball's going. Because, I mean, he could have ended up in between the two pockets,
Yeah, but
bottom two pockets
with
there.
with how well he cued that, if it was just a little bit softer, he still could have taken the black to the bottom right.
Yeah, I mean, it could well have been just a wee rush of blood. Lovely lines there.
Yeah.
And no faffing around.
I think that was the answer to the one. If Simon made that one down the rail, he's going to finish off in the same similar pattern.
Yeah, part of me is a bit surprised you didn't go for a safety shot, but then again it is Simon Singleton. He's got the ability to pull that shot where he needs to.
My thoughts there that had to be on the cushion. Because then if it was already on the rail, then you know that whole contact, and he probably would have had to get somebody to watch it, and then you know you were playing the white towards the other, like just over the yellow and behind the yellow that was on the black spot, so you weren't really trying to hit the white off a rail either. So I think you'll probably find if you ask Simon that ball was on the rail. That's why he went for the cut.
Oh, okay. No, I get you. It would have made it a bit harder for a snooker.
Yeah, because he'd
have to touch a second. You'd have to touch a rail again.
Yeah. So that's probably why he was a bit more attacking than what we were thinking.
This is a rare dry break from Simon here, and the
like frame one.
Good man.
Frame one, he missed out and Adam punished him. So I guess we'll see what's the result here.
Even rarer that he does two in a row.
Yeah.
Adam had better take this.
The reds.
Oh, he's gotten on the hard one early. That's a great shot.
He also moved that red into a little bit better position there over the middle right bag, so he's just seeing here where he can pot the 8.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to reverse engineer this.
He's going to have to be really, really neat to fit that window.
Yeah. He's trying to reverse engineer a clearance here, and I would suggest that red that's closest to the black, the one above the black spot, I think that's going to play a part soon.
And do you think it's going to be next? He's going to try and bring this back and then now play into it? And
he could do. Now,
he's got space, no?
It's probably, the angle's probably too great.
What about here, off that bottom right?
No, I think he spreads this and just tries to sit for the other red next to it. Yeah, see?
And now? But he's just going to have to try and clip this.
No, I'd say no, because there's a chance he'll get hooked in behind either the black or those yellows. You'd rather play that the other way, i.e. down up towards the black spot.
Towards us.
Yeah, because you've got 3 in the middle that, I mean, you pop one of them, you've got 2 more in the middle that you can land on if it doesn't quite split right. But you go this way, you've got a whole world of hurt waiting for you if you get it wrong.
Oh, that bit hard off the rail.
It did. I think he was trying to, but not quite to have it pull up like that. He wanted it to go a wee bit closer to the middle of the table rather than there. For the red that's we think is a good split for the black.
So that's the one just directly above the black, but he's playing it now, so he must have a different plan than what we see.
That's okay. If that's on, it's okay.
I'm still struggling to see where he's putting the black.
I think he's going to... If he pots this one he's just moved, then he could screw off into the yellow, kill the cue ball on the yellow, and then he's got the angle to naturally hit that red right in the middle of the table.
Look where he's queuing. So he wants to put it right there for that little tiny window between them.
Boy, that's going to be difficult.
That's tough.
That's needle in a haystack stuff.
That's tough.
Boy, you better get your pincers out, boy.
I think he is. I think he's decided the fact that he's see, he's saying, if I play this one first, can I split them? He's going for the split.
You reckon?
Yep.
No. Oh, he's too close to it. Damn.
Now what?
Panic. Yeah, well,
Do you just hit that red back over and into the black?
could try to double this, double bottom right pocket, and if you can get into the cue ball here, you may be able to get that angle back. But
So
boy,
you're saying
a tough draw.
back to the needle on by his hand there, and try and fit through that gap.
I don't know. He's trying it. Oh, I think that was in. I reckon that had a chance if he hadn't hit it again.
Bugger. He's
Should have switched views. He would have been able to see it perfectly.
It did actually look pretty good. We don't have the action replay, unfortunately, so
Maybe not. We'll never know.
yeah, have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't switch views on the replay, but
it did look like it was tracking that way, didn't it?
definitely.
So I think this is going to be Snooker City population Adam.
Yup. Well, you see where the cue ball ended up. It was a shot to nothing, really, wasn't it?
What has he got now, though? He's going to go top.
Well, top ball, he potentially leaves the red on if he misses.
Exactly.
But I think he just backs himself here.
Does he just pull it back a little bit?
Yeah. So, the
And
one...
he takes that one above the black to the left.
I'd say no. I reckon he takes the one to the right, the one he's queuing now, and he just gets a little split. Didn't need to... Oh, he's missed it.
And the door is open.
Shot on.
The door is open.
If it's not on directly, it's on off that yellow he just missed. So, it was the right shot, because you see how he had two other yellows that were prime if he'd got the split in the pot. He just missed the pot. I mean, that's the only thing he did wrong.
Yeah, I guess the interesting part there was he then gave, by missing it, Adam a little window, little gap to put his foot in the door. So now he's lining up that shot quite similar to what he was before, above that yellow. So yeah. Well, where's my angle?
I think the first thing you look at is whether this is on directly. I believe it is. I believe it is.
So he's just going to try and put the white above the middle pocket there, next to that yellow. Yeah, that one. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
he should be reasonably happy with that.
Yeah,
I'll just leave the view here.
Lovely. Punished.
That's taking your chance.
Yeah.
Didn't think you were going to get one there, Adam.
You got to take all of those chances versus Simon.
Well, especially with an open-looking table and you miss a shot and you're on your last ball. Generally, you're odds-on to lose the frame in these rules, but on this occasion, Adam benefiting from a rare Simon miss with an open table.
Yeah, I don't remember actually seeing him miss a ball like that recently.
No, it's fine margins too, isn't it? And it happens to all of us. It just shows you that he's human as well.
Yeah. He's just normally super consistent.
Yeah. And as consistent as he is, on the rare occasion it does go wrong. I like the little clock at the bottom, the top right of your screen there. This game started at 1:30, and remember there's 2 hours a game. So right now we're running at 20 minutes.
So there's a 2 hour time limit. If you get to the 2 hours, then it goes to a 6 red if it's a draw. Otherwise, it just sits at the frame score.
Hello.
So that's why sometimes you'll see the score 6-5 or something like that, because they've just run to time. But with these two queuing it well, I don't think we're going to run into that problem.
No, I'm pretty sure we'll see someone get 8 here.
Yellows here, Simon. We're going to go reds. They're all pretty good.
Muchness, really.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. Which do you prefer,
Personally?
Yeah. I think he's looking at reds.
Probably the reds, but yeah, he's looked reds. He's decided to... He's not going to deal with the ones in the middle of the table just yet. Yeah, no, he's ended up on the same angle, which he didn't want. He wanted to be straighter on one of those
He was trying to flick.
three reds,
He's trying to
especially
flick
the
it behind
top
that yellow,
topmost.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he wanted to be straighter on that topmost red so that he didn't go into anything else, because you see how there's balls below all those that he could hook himself on. You see how he's had to move a bunch of balls, and one of those reds has gone bad next to the yellow.
Bottom right.
That's exactly what he didn't want. Because he lost the ability to control what happened because he didn't get his position.
Yep.
Now he's also got that one that's near the black, which becomes a bit tricky as well, but
That one's not too bad. That might be his last
Yeah.
ball.
yeah, I mean, he's got a bit of space there. I suppose if he can get
He's
this
going to try
red out,
and he's
that's,
trying to go into that red now.
yeah, get the red out, that's tough, which he's done fairly well.
Boom.
I think he'll have to go the one in the middle of the table now, because I don't believe
Just
the
having
one
a look
nearer
at
the
that
hole
gap, so
goes.
he's going to top this through that one bottom right.
It's on now, okay.
Bit short. Can you see it, Simon?
The one nearest the black spot, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that's on. I think he's going to have to take that one last.
So what's your go here? Do you roll forward and take the left one, or do you come back?
Roll
and-
forward, take the left one.
Yeah,
Keep it simple.
yeah. And so now he's going to try and finish above that yellow in the corner pocket, bottom right, somewhere in that.
Yeah, aim for
Yeah.
the same hole.
Yeah.
And if he pushes this through, it looks like it's just off angle. Yeah, if he can push this through, then he should stay away from that yellow that's
Do you think he's going to
nearest the
come?
black spot.
He's going to come up the spot.
Yeah, see, he
Yeah.
pushed through ever so slightly so that the cue ball didn't spread and come back
Yeah.
towards that yellow to snooker.
Yeah, so that was his line up through the yellow and the black spot. There was his where he's aiming to land on.
Oh dear. Simon, I was just about to give you a frame. I had my finger on the button.
Here we go. 2 mistakes in a row, I think, yeah. Very abnormal for Simon.
I just wonder if he's going to try and play for a snooker here. He's considering it.
What does he want out of that snooker? He really wants to deal with that one to the left of the middle pocket, and then everything else pops, right? So
Yeah. I mean, he's got the one that's past the
Yeah,
middle
he's
pocket
definitely
that he
gonna
can
snooker.
use. Yeah, no, that's a good shot. See,
Yeah.
he obviously didn't like this one bottom right here because it's not good for position. He's going to have to give it some for position. So
Yeah.
he just said, right, you deal with it. Snooker you, make you play a good
Is this-
shot.
is this going to be a Kurt Dunham special?
Oh, snick into the middle.
Yep.
Could be. Seen this done before. By people other than Kurt Dunham too. Hold on to your hats, folks. Oh, great effort.
That wasn't far off.
As soon as I saw it come off that top rail, I thought, there's a chance here.
Lucky thing for Simon there is he's mussed up that ball on the top rail as well and made that slightly harder than where Adam got it to with the snooker itself. So
Yeah, I mean, he was a bit lucky there, wasn't he? But, I mean, you'd still back at him to have a crack at this, and
Adam still could pot it, but he's just made his life a little bit more difficult.
I think he was still for a moment thinking about the snooker
Yeah,
again.
right back at it.
But
It's so thin though. You don't have any
Yeah.
other balls. So you just gotta take that one. Start here.
if you get away from the yellows, no. Oh,
Oh,
that
so he
might be a
wanted-
bit tight.
which ball. So he's going for which one? Back down to the bottom right and stop short. That ball he's next to.
I was thinking bottom left, but that becomes so hard when you're having to queue over.
Mm-hmm.
Play this, and your Kugel's naturally running into a place where you can get a snooker. See, well, he's potted it, so he's taken that out, but there was a chance of a snooker if he'd missed it, and also because he could go in and around, he was always going to land on something.
Have you got the posse now to take this one? Does he take it?
To the middle?
Yeah.
Probably not. The black's actually a pain because that ball past the middle pocket he could have used to develop that
Controversial.
yellow.
Do you go for the safety here and just tuck it up on the rail? No.
No, I think he's too far in for the safety here. Unless
He still had the yellow, and he had the yellow above the black as a cushion, and then that yellow on the rail to the left, like, stopped the out from that side. So he could have had him like against the bottom rail there and given him a interesting shot to get out of it. I guess you do have that cross bank again that Kurt would love to the middle, so maybe just didn't want to give Simon a shot back at the table and just said, I'm good enough to pot these out.
Yeah, it shows you where you're at too. Because if he hits this hard enough as well, he could snooker behind that yellow. Yeah, see how he's played it?
Yeah.
He's playing it for the snooker. So now he's developed it. He's left a wee snickable shot here.
Yeah, this isn't too dissimilar to the shot I was thinking, but I think the angle here is probably a bit more in play of him actually potting the 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him to go for the bank here. Bank the cue ball into the 8, because the other way I don't think you're potting it anywhere, but if you take the bank, you're a chance to pot this.
Oh, he's definitely trying to pot this.
He's just trying to work out which angle he needs to play on.
Even if you leave the 8 near that yellow, like, you're killing that yellow at the same time, so he's going to make sure he's hitting it like his side of half or full on.
Beautiful.
Didn't matter.
Absolutely sublime. Now I can give you that frame.
But you see how that black was actually a little bit more easy to go into the middle pocket from the top side towards bulk than it was if he played safe on the bottom rail, because you had to hit it like a back cut.
Yeah, you had to snick it in rather than relatively full ball.
Full ball, yeah. So
was the only issue with that snooker, and otherwise it was a good shot. I mean, if he misses that, then you're on and
you're in.
All in sundry.
Yeah.
But I mean, Simon's just too good a player to be leaving shots like that too often. It's not a good enough snooker to get. Like, it's 95% you'll get another shot.
Yeah. I was talking to. Who was I talking to earlier? I think it was Ryan, and Ryan said, if you lay a snooker against somebody on the black, he said, if they make the black, that's on you, not on them, because you let them back to the table just on the black. He's like, you shouldn't be trying to play a safety off the black, because it's, you should be kind of finishing from there.
Yeah,
you're letting them back
there.
You're letting the door open where you shouldn't even. You should lock them outside.
Yeah, when you slam the door shut, don't you?
So that was an interesting point I picked up this morning from Mr. King.
Of course, if the finish isn't there, then that's when
guess
you look
your
at
only
your
option.
safeties.
But yeah.
Other results thus far: Des Wilcox, Camellia Cook 1 each. Steve Denton 2-1 over Baden Jackson. This game 2 each, and Adam Lilly 2-0 up over Kiri Michaelides. So whoever wins this game, well, these four games that we've just had, they go automatically into the quarterfinals.
So they one of each spots, is that right? And then
so there's four quarterfinal spots up for grabs here. The losers go into a losers qualification game.
So that's the next round up after this.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Fries, wedges, and
I just ate.
yellow. Anything yellow? I'll get some wedges or something.
Just Coke Zero, please. Thanks, Daryl.
Cheers, Daryl.
Daryl's on the case with food and beverage supplies.
Keeping the boys.
Keeping the boys hydrated. Bugger.
There's another one of those unusual misses.
Is it a little bit snatchy, or how did he cue it? No, just
Touch snatchy.
the replay didn't look too bad, but yeah.
I think he just moved ever so slightly.
Mhm.
Don't want to sound like we're coming up for excuses why he's missed it. He's obviously missed it because he didn't cue it right. It's just why he didn't cue it right.
Bottom two now, Simon.
Yeah, he doesn't need to move this red
Just come between
next
the
to
gap.
the yellow. The one next to the yellow at the
Yeah.
bottom of your screen. He doesn't need to move it, he just needs to...
Basically 90 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's looking at it. Yeah, it's hooked.
He didn't get into that quite enough.
Yeah.
He was always
It just
trying to
slid.
come off the rail because he wanted to straighten up for position, but it slid rather than bite.
Yeah, because you saw the dots on it just stopped rotating backwards, and it just kind of almost just rolled straight sideways from there rather than pulling it back towards the black.
I reckon he goes top of your table here.
So it takes this one top.
I thought he might have taken the one on the
Yeah.
bulk line, but no.
Ooh.
Well, he's gotten a result there. It's more than a little bit fortunate.
Yeah, fortunate place to put it. I think he's stopped Adam taking that one by the middle pocket to the bottom left, so now he's only got the middle pocket, right?
Well, what Adam's got here is that ball on the left of your screen next to the middle pocket. He could try to bank that off, that ball that Simon's just put in the road.
So he's going this one next to the black.
But that's another
Wallop.
way of doing it. That's a
Get in
brilliant
there.
shot.
You could literally hear the leather slapping there, that was great.
Oh, always is. Don't you know that's one of the best sounds on a pool table?
So that one, the one below the black spot, up to middle, black to bottom left.
Yeah, that's my pack. Just do a big circle. And this here,
Natural,
see,
it's
he's
natural.
he's off angle, and the reason why he wanted to be off angle is because he could perhaps kill this off the red. I reckon he'll just play this slightly into the red,
Just a bit of bottom, just brought it
but
out.
because he's got more angle and he can get underneath it, he can bottom it out too.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Well, he doesn't need to involve the red, then he doesn't need to play it that way. So Adam Shaw regains the lead, 3-2.
I told Mike you're in here, so he knows to come
Cool.
grab you. Looking at that Sydney Big Blake, gee.
Also, I'm next up.
So you might have to buzz
Skedaddle.
off very
I'm
soon.
playing Max. Little Max.
Oh, we Maxi, okay.
That should be a good little battle.
Oh yeah, he's a wee nugget, that guy.
It's been an interesting weekend so far. The first time actually playing Super League or international rules in a tournament per se. So it's been quite a cool experience. So anybody out there thinking that they should be, trying it out, put your name down next time and give it a go.
Oh, for sure. I've had a mean weekend myself playing this.
It's been quite relaxed with everything being scheduled too. So Mike's done an awesome job there on. Oh, that kick was lovely though.
Oh, that was so good. That was beautiful.
Remove that shark rack and we'll be away.
Yeah, I think the shark rack's detrimental to this. Get rid of it so you don't get any bad reactions off it. And I do like again how the players are quite relaxed about balls having to be moved or marked.
I feel like that should be just part of the rules and for us now. Like, you can't call a foul on the shark rack. You just together both move it out. Job's done. Move on. You don't need to take time over it. Just lift up the ball, take the rack out. You know, a millimetre here or there, unless something's really close, isn't going to matter.
Exactly, and obviously the push is to get the shark rack out of the way as soon as possible, so it's
so
not
you just
interfering with the game.
You just go and move it. Come together after the break. Move it out if it needs to be lifted. Job done.
Well, it stops these niggly little situations where you could
You moved it. There's a foul. Yada yada.
or there's a shot that you play which you have to play differently to avoid coming in contact with the rack. So it changes your thought pattern or the way you clean the balls up.
Yeah.
I'm picking that one on the
It
top
must go.
rails on.
Hawkeye would tell us. Here you go. Just saw it scrape past.
Cheers, Paul.
Nick of time, Paul.
Yeah, I was looking at it on my screen, so.
Yeah.
Brittany, somebody who hasn't played Super League like myself, you do not have to be part of a team, but what you need to do is you need to make a Q Score account, because that way you're in the system, and if you want to enter these tournaments, you enter through Q Score because it will give the details to you as to who to pay.
The cool thing about that, I was talking to Michael.
Oh, he hasn't helped himself, has he?
Is that they don't actually have to do the draw to a day before the tournament. You know that you're playing that day. They'll do the draw, and then your time's there. You just come at the allocated time. The match, each table has a specific match order, so they're all allocated there. So
Swervy?
yeah, he might come for a swerve here.
It only needs to be a subtle swerve, doesn't it?
Yeah, subtle. Nah.
Oh, he tried to go off the rail, okay. Almost swerve into the rail and then kick the ball in so you don't get snookered behind the reds. That's a good way of playing it.
Basically from there the whole day has all scheduled out, tables and people, so you don't have to. The control's a lot easier, I guess, is the cool part of that. You just have to enter the scores, all of the mapping of the who plays who is all done by QScore. So if you jump onto qscore.com and have a look at the Super League tournament, you'll see how it's all set out in for the future games. I'm up now, so I'll see you in.
Hopefully you'll regale me with some tales of victory.
Otherwise I'm going to be sad.
Oh, I don't want that.
Yeah. Alright, good luck.
Good luck, John. Turn it on, mic off. Okay, so by my lonesome. Never mind, I've been here several times before. Somebody wants to jump in and commentate with me, they're more than welcome, as long as they know what they're talking about.
Pretty much it, isn't it? The rules.
The rules is the biggest change, Brittany. I mean, these international rules are very similar to 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball on the 9-footers. They're basically a kind of copy of those rules. I was about to say how good a shot that was and it didn't go, and maybe it was fortunate that it didn't go. But yeah, the rules are different slightly to world rules, but not by very much. I mean, most of the rules are basically copy and paste. I'm just trying to think of differences in the rules between these and world rules. I think Simon might have been trying to hook Adam behind that ball he played as well. So he's got a snooker as it is, but if he'd gotten a snooker behind the ball next to the cue ball, then that would have been a very, very tough out. As it is, it's a tough out anyway, because all of your natural playing lines are taken away. You really have to be looking at two rails here. So off the left rail and then roughly where his cue is to go into that yellow over the hole. But if he'd snookered him behind that other red as well, it might have possibly taken this line away. Oh, that was almost as described, but because of the fact that he punched into it, it opened up. He had to punch into it anyway to really get the cue through, but unfortunately that's what ended up costing him. I don't even think you need to be a member of a club, Brittany. I genuinely don't think you need to be a member of a club. I just think you need to enter to obviously have a Q score account, because that's how you get your name in and so on. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really twisting the screws now, isn't it? It doesn't matter whether or not it's a touching ball, because he'll have to play away from it in any event. How do you get out of this one? I'm just thinking. Thinking markers double into the black here, so left rail, bottom rail on your screen, right rail, which is what it looks like he's looking at. Now, if he can somehow miss that red to the left of the black spot, he's got a chance. But that red looms large though. He's going to have to find a way of getting the side that he puts on to take, so it takes it back towards the black. That was always going to be so difficult, and that's a great example of that turnover shot used wisely. And Simon's just an absolute master at just using the rules against players like he has there. It's a turnover shot, he loses his shot, but what he was able to do, because he had a ball in hand, is place the cue ball exactly where he wanted to play the turnover shot to get the best snooker he could. And I mean, that snooker was near flawless, and Adam just in the end had no show of hitting the black. But your profile on Q Score, Brittany, is where you enter from, just to cap that off, and then your details for payment are provided on the page for the tournament you wish to enter. So you get your details through there, and then you pay and through online banking, and you're away. And I very much suggest that you have a go at these rules too, because I mean, obviously you're going to have to get used to the small cue ball, which a lot of players struggle with, but I mean, that's just part and parcel of the game. Once you get over that and actually start really getting into the game, then you will enjoy it. His off angle here is Simon. Well, by what I mean is he's not quite on the right angle for what he really wanted to do. He's had to redraw his line there, and he's maybe having to redraw it again because he's not gotten as straight on this red to the top left as he'd want to be. So this is where his cueing and his belief in his game needs to come in. Yeah, see, that's where it becomes missable. Or did he get lucky? Has he gotten away with that? Oh, it's very, very tight on this view. See, that, I don't think that really helps, but that view actually looks more favourable to Adam than the top view. He might just play a wee bit of a swerve on this, just cue down it ever so slightly. Oh no, it must have been on. He's absolutely rifled it in. Take that. Yeah, shut up, John. It was on all the way. Very much warranted, whoever said that.
Dell's got 20.
Jesus, okay. Sam T. It doesn't really do my head in so much. It just... I always have to remind myself it doesn't behave the same way, so just make those little adjustments for how small it is. Yeah, if you hear chewing noises, I'm sorry. Woohoo! Look at that swerve. That made a drastic turn off the brake. Oh, okay, you started playing with a small cue ball. Okay. Oh, so that's not an issue then, it's just... I think in that case it's just, yeah, getting back into it and... So your mind-muscle connection more than anything when you're delving into something that was foreign but is no longer. But as you take time off playing it, it almost becomes foreign again. But I always think this is like riding a bike though. Obviously it becomes harder to learn the longer away you spend, but once you get the basics of it, then I mean you pick it up straight away really, and then you're just training yourself to see how to play the rules and so on. So these three balls here, they're kind of all off angle, and well, the two especially next to the black spot. So I might have to put some inside English on something here, which he has done.
She may as well have played both her matches in New Plymouth.
Okay, so relatively simple red here. I'll say that, and that's not what he wanted at all. He wanted that to come back ever so slightly more, and then he could have had the option of taking it off the yellow near the middle pocket and re-establishing that straight line on the cue ball. He's going to go into the 8 here, I think. He'll go around it. Yeah, went around it. This is a bit of a tricky shot though. I had one of these before. You almost have to play down on it and really stroke it. Yeah, beautiful. Cue ball stops nicely, so Simon Singleton back to within a frame, 3-4. Yeah, the rules are brilliant. I actually think they're the best set of rules for a cue sport around. I used to say that about blackball actually, but I think these rules supersede those because they just allow you to do so much, and I mean they're not restrictive at all. Like blackball, you can't deliberately foul. It's not a foul if you play your ball first, pot your opponent's ball. That's just it's a loss of turn shot, and it's a good tactic. It stops people from just sticking balls over holes and playing it like CNZ. I think that's what attracts a lot of people to this game, is just how simple it is to follow as well. Ball off the break. No, I'm 7 of each. Sorry, bud. I think for somebody who's actually watching this for the first time, apart from the little intricacies with the rules, such as you having to touch a rail after contact, I think is a big one that some people don't grasp first time up. That and the turnover shot, how you pot your opponent's ball, and as long as it's otherwise a fair shot, you just lose your turn. But once people get those in their head as being the way the rules allow you to play, then the rest of it's pretty easy to follow, really. It's not like certain other rule sets, which I won't name, where they confuse people who have been playing for a long time. So Simon back on his BS here. Shout out to Buster Rhymes. Wow. I'm counting 6 yellows. He's just made an error of judgment big time there. I think the idea was to pot that yellow into the pocket bottom right, and then he was away. I mean, you see the rest of them are looking pretty good, but it wasn't an easy shot, and he didn't cover anything, so he's left the table reasonably open here for Adam. I think where he kind of left himself, it was an all-nothing type shot. So he chose the red pill on this occasion, and didn't pan out for him. Good little bit of side on that. Put a bit of bottom left on that to get it to come off the rail more towards that red that he's looking at now. I don't think that's a problem, how that yellow is now covering any real shot that he's got on that red that's tied up, because he's still got to get a shot on that red that's tied up, and what that'll do is that will affect how he plays the breakout or the promotion if he gets that far. Now obviously he's got the black to look out at too here, so if he's playing the red bottom right here, he'll be doing so to hoof the black out, and he'll also want to leave himself a good look possibly at a plant here. Because the two reds that are close to each other, they're actually reasonably well on for a plant. There's a little bit of finagling to be done, but as long as you can play this, get the black out and get a reasonable shot at that plant, then you should be okay. So I think that those two balls are too close together to try and get on one of them. He's gone and proven me wrong there and turn the table over. If he hasn't left Simon on that yellow in the middle of the table, then it's a good shot. But he's forced Simon to play the one close to him, and he'll hope that he just moves that out of the way, or moves the cue ball to somewhere where he has a shot at something. How am I doing? I'm out, unfortunately, Barry. Lost at the loser round 4 stage. Brent Wells beat me 7-5. Good response from Simon there. The player's just playing around with those two balls in the corner pocket there, looking to... So they keep playing until one of them leaves a shot on something else. I think central to this as well is that yellow stays in the way of the black. Because if he can continue to leave that ball in the way of the black, then he's got some modicum of control over the frame. So Adam will be trying to play a shot for which he's only on that yellow and it moves it further away from the line of that black. See, this is a good one here because he's left the cue ball behind the yellow. So you can't just play the yellow straight into the rail here because he's the wrong side of it, so he has to snick at it. Or alternatively, he has to play another ball. So he's had to play another ball there, and so that's left Adam a much better look at the table now. So he's got more opportunity now to play another shot, and maybe even to put a ball over a hole, or possibly to move something, and then he's got a better outlook on the table. Hello, Dev. See, you're still fighting away in this tournament as well. Is he going for the plant here? He's certainly queuing up that way. It's almost a dead cue shot here, or a dead straight, should I say. So that actually works because the cue ball, if the cue ball stops roughly where it is now, then Simon doesn't have anything easy. So, I mean, that's, again, you're thinking about what you're doing if you miss it, but obviously you want to pot this. If you don't pot it though, you're not going to leave much if you play it correctly. So you want your cue ball to come back roughly towards where it is now. If you're playing, which he's not playing that, he's gone a different option here. Oh, that's a spectacular touch. That's a lovely shot. Yeah, that was all touch, folks, and Adam's got oodles of it. His wife will be a very happy woman watching that. Barry Cook. Yeah, no, sorry, I never actually said anything about that to her. I know she was interested. I just get tied up in what I'm doing, unfortunately. I have mixed feelings about that. Obviously the way it's worked out is okay. He's not snookered on anything, and he's not left Simon an easy ball there. And obviously he's got a ball he can pot, but that yellow is still now blocked. But he'll probably feel like he had a wee chance to finish that, and maybe didn't take it as well as he could have done. That's just a bit of a snatch there from Simon. So he could potentially move this. No, I was going to say the red that was covered by the yellow could have moved it. Now he's moved the yellow out of the way, so it's no longer a problem to him, but now it's that red that's a problem. It's the red that he wasn't able to get out before. Now what I reckon what Adam's going to try and do here is go off the back of it. I mean, there might even be a chance at a pot here, you know. If he goes off the back of this ball, if he gets right underneath the ball, and he could even cannon it off the yellow into the top middle pocket there. I hope you guys can see the shot. If he gets a piece of the yellow as well, he may very well push the yellow either onto the short rail on the right, or even more towards that red that's over the hole. So he's got a number of things that could happen for him here. He's played it directly, and if this goes anywhere near the middle of the table, it's spectacular. Oh, what a shot. Big red. Oh, come on, where's the nap? The nap deserted him. Now then. Simon's got a few choices to make here. He's only really got one yellow that's tricky. The red being where it is, if he leaves a snooker, because it's right over the pocket and it's accessible from both halves of the table, by which I mean the half where the black spot is and the half where the bulk line is, it's readily accessible from both sides. So if he's going to play a snooker, it has to be a real good one. He has to be involving multiple rails. So I think on this occasion that almost forces him to have a go at this. Unless he can find a really, really good snooker here, then I'm picking he goes for this, because otherwise it becomes too easy for Adam to just play a rail and pot that ball. He's got his full go hand on. He doesn't want that to go, and he doesn't want it to nap into the rail like it has done. Boy, that's a bad break. That was that nap that Adam wanted before and didn't get, and now the nap's actually come back the next shot and helped him. It's amazing how this game works in swings and roundabouts. He's going to keep trucking on here. Is he going to get more bad luck though? I think he's gotten stiff again here. It's amazing again, this game. He might be able to tuck in behind it though. If that's a touching ball, then he's going to have to come off multiple rails here. Cheers, Paul. Top rail, bottom rail on your screen, and then pop the ball. So he's actually made a good fist of this, has Simon. The shot definitely is on. You can see if you can draw the line with your eyes. You want to come off this rail just, I believe, just to the left of the bulk line. So you see where the bulk line touches the long rail there. You want to be just to the left of it, and then back towards roughly where his cue was. So yeah, somewhere in between those two bolts, just to the left of that middle pocket, and then he's got a chance. And when he chucked a bit of side on it and the side didn't take, either that or he just miscued it, because he's missed that line by a mile. Okay, this is interesting, you know. Looks like he's going to just turn the table over here, but he's got to, if he's not going to pot this, it's debatable whether this is on. He'd have to hit the ball quite full for it to go. And this has to be on, I'd say. But he's got to be careful that he doesn't clip it too fine so the yellow hits the left jaw and doesn't go. See, he didn't pot it, but because he's controlled the weight so well, he's ended up leaving a snooker. So it was kind of like a shot to nothing in that respect. This is going to be a two rail kind of job here. Hopefully he gets the line right, from a viewing perspective anyway. He gets the line right this time because he got it so wrong last time. Looks like he's cueing it with a trace of right too. No, he's thin again. He's done pretty much the same thing again, so I mean, this time you'd have to put your house on Simon trying to clear this. The only possible ball that could be a problem is that yellow on the left of the screen near the rail. Apart from that, the rest of them are pretty much asking to be potted. So there has to be a point at which he decides, okay, I'm going to go for a little promotion on that ball. He's going for the one, okay. So he's opted for a bit of insurance there, so he's remaining patient. I do wonder whether that black might just squeeze past that yellow though. But the reason why he played that, I mean, if he gets it, obviously he's most likely going to go for a finish. He just made a liar out of me before. But if Adam does manage to pot this ball off being snookered, then the hope is for Simon that the black's not on either, so they'll pot a good shot and then have to play something magical on the black. You can just see the edge of this, so he might try and play a double of some sort here. Well, that's not horrible because all the balls are in the wrong spot here for Simon for where the cue balls landed. He's taken away the one on the left, and the other ones are either the wrong side of the pocket or too fine. He tried to double kiss into a snooker there and didn't quite do it. Now this is a chance for Adam. He's got a slightly bigger pocket there with the yellow covering, or the other side of that middle pocket, and that black I'm pretty sure will squeeze in between the jaw and the yellow to go in off the yellow. So if he can hold this and get decent position on the black, it's on here. He just needs to focus 100% on potting this ball first. This is the one. Oh, he's missed it the other side of the hole. Oh, would you believe it? It is so easy to do, but you'd expect of all the places you miss the ball, it would be the other side of the pocket. Again, which colour pill do you choose, Simon? Red for attack, blue for defence. I reckon it's red pill time here. Oh, he's still going to try and play for a snooker. And he hasn't got it. Eventually it's going to come back and bite him. You would have to think, will it be this shot though? Because this is potable, you know. It could go top left pocket. It also cross doubles. Look at this. This time he does get the line right on the double, and this I'm pretty sure will go. I mean, he's shaking his head, but I'm pretty sure this goes. It's just really tight and really tough. Got it this way. He could face double it as well, but that's a really tough shot from there. So I reckon he's going to try and squeeze this in. How's it? Oh, it's just caught it too fat. he's called it too fat by the barest of margins, and I mean, now you've got to be thinking. I mean, I thought a few shots ago, but you've got to be thinking now. Surely Simon tries to finish.
Just so you know, we're going to check the levels of the main table after this frame, so you might want to cut to the other table for a little bit.
We've got no other table.
Oh, it's not
We'll go to the crowd.
So just after this frame, they're going to check that the table is level. Somebody's probably mentioned about it was probably the shot that Simon played where that yellow on the left, near the left rail, actually rolled into the rail rather than rolling towards the middle pocket. I mean, that most likely is the one that got him confused. So he's got a few shots here, does Adam? He could try and bank this. Or he's tried the cocked hat double. He's tried to use that big pocket again, and he's just come up short. This becomes the ball now. Well, he's going to try and play for a snooker, and he got it. Beautiful shot that is. You only really think of it if you're in the mood. Now, what can Adam answer with? Has he got a bit of magic up his sleeve? Oi! Give it a lash and see where it goes. Tara Jackson coming out of the woodwork. Your man's 4-3 down at the moment, Tara, against Steve Denton. What an intriguing frame this has been. That's putting it mildly. He's still bemoaning the fact that he's not perfect on anything here. It's almost like he wants everything to line up for him. Oh, look at this. See, that for most players will be happy with that, but I'll tell you right now, this is more work than Simon wants. Up, down and back up the table. It needs to stop. That's fine. Oh, lovely line. Right when you need it. Right when you need one. The roundabout way to win a frame, but that'll do just nicely.
Neil, are you ready for your 20 questions?
Yes.
Question number 1, reds or yellows?
Reds.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Beach holiday or ski holiday?
Beach.
Your greatest Q Sports achievement?
UK Coral champion.
Your biggest Q Sports disappointment?
Can't answer that. Don't know. Sorry.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
All Blacks or Black Caps?
All Blacks.
Who is the GOAT of New Zealand pool?
Simon Singleton.
Which New Zealand Qist do you admire the most?
Simon Singleton.
What is your Q Sports goal for the next 12 months?
To beat Simon Singleton.
What is your favourite Q sport?
Snooker.
Favourite sport outside of Q Sports?
Soccer.
Your celebrity crush?
Ryan Giggs.
Which player do you enjoy playing the most?
Simon Singleton.
National or Labour?
Labour.
You got a long black pot for $1 million. Who in New Zealand is taking that pot for you?
My partner Steph.
Your favourite pool tournament in New Zealand?
New Zealand Open, snooker,
Your highest snooker break?
146.
What is your go-to food at a pool tournament?
Chips,
Which player do you dislike playing the most?
John Gower.
Neil, those are your 20 questions. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
On. Right, so what you're seeing now is your room view. So this camera's been turned away from the second table, so now you can look back towards the crowd looking at the stream table.
It was a bit pixelated on the second table, so I made the decision to
Yeah.
make it a crowd view.
Well, how often do we actually go to that camera?
Not very
Hardly,
often.
yeah.
So the powers that be, that this being Daryl and tournament controller Michael Hayes, have had a look at the table, and I think there's been a few adjustments made to it. I think the main problem was something to do with that middle pocket on the left of the
That's where
screen.
the adjustment was made. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I think that's where you had a was, as I was saying before, there was a ball that Simon played towards it. See, that looked like it rolled off.
That napped as well.
Well, it's, whether it's nap or whether it's roll. So there's a difference between the two there. See,
Look at
that
it.
that one hooked in big.
Look at it.
See, right at the end it hooked in
It
big.
did.
That's exactly what happened to him during that last frame.
Right.
The ball that he was trying to promote towards that middle pocket, instead of sitting over the pocket like it should have done, it napped hard into the rail.
But if they can't get it through, they may
But they're
put
both-
the table out.
They both napped there though, because he missed that one to middle right.
Yes, he did, Charlotte. He beat Camellia Cook by, I'm not sure what the score was, but it was 5-4 at one point, so I'm guessing 8-4 or 8-5 is my best guess. So that game will go final very soon. Adam Lee,
Baden's and Denton's score was 6-3 to somebody, so I'm presuming that must be Steve 6, Baden 3.
yeah, oh, it would have to be.
And then I couldn't see the Lily McLeady's score that's on the far wall.
6, yeah, well,
Yeah.
6-2 on the
I couldn't see.
screen,
I
but
couldn't see the updated score on the.
again, we don't have. It's not updated in real time. It's only updated
If somebody changes it,
if someone changes it. We can go back to the main screen now.
here we go.
Well, it should really be overhead, but it's too late. Sorry.
One to middle. Easy work of the shark crack. We're in business.
Just as it should be. It's interesting when I played in my game against Brent Wells, I used the shark rack for all 6 racks that I break, and I did not get a single ball off the break. I might have got one ball off the break all match.
What were your stats in our match yesterday? I think you broke with it the first 2, missed both of them, then removed it, and then continued to consistently get a ball off the break after that.
No, I think I used it the whole time.
Did you?
I'm sure I used it the whole time. If I had it, I would have used it. I just can't remember exactly what my stats were, though.
Probably an interesting stat to log after each match.
Well, it would certainly help, wouldn't it, if you knew what you were doing off your break?
Delicate.
Where
are we going here, Simon?
I don't think it does.
He's going to come back up between those two reds, or is he going to play the cannon?
Well, it must
Must
go
pass.
then.
It must pass. It's going to run in. No, it can. Yep, beautiful.
Well, that's excellent control, isn't it?
Just
Because
knew he was nudging it down the rail.
Yeah, killed the cue ball, and he's also made sure that that second yellow has ended up near a hole.
Anywhere down there, basically. Oh, that was lovely.
I'm just wondering where he's going to go from here, though, because the obvious pocket is the one bottom left, and that one's blocked, so...
Wonder if he's going to just slide up the rail to the
the
left of that red next to us.
Behind the two that are closest to
Just
him
come
now.
up towards the middle pocket and take it to the bottom right.
Two rails.
Fool me twice.
Oh, beautiful. Shot,
look,
Simon.
the side on that was amazing. Just bit off that last rail and flicked it down. Lovely.
What difference a break and play sometimes makes. Maybe, for Simon's point of view, that was the best thing that could have happened to him, because
That got a break.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't quite as clinical as we know him to be in this game up to that frame just played. That little break, even if it was 5 minutes long, just gave him time to reset his mind, maybe.
Yep.
And that's the result. That's a wonderful clear.
Oh, I'm playing Paul Blackcloud next. Should be a good one.
Will be.
I played little Max Freeman. It was a great little game. He was unlucky on one of the pots. He rifled a great ball across the table and then ran into the black and popped it in.
Ouch.
Yep.
Instant loss of frame.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was his first ball that he potted too.
So off comes the Sharky with little difficulty. And
The 8 didn't move too far, did it?
no, it didn't. I mean, the 8 goes on the spot, so the rest of the balls definitely did, but the 8 kind of stayed there. I don't really think you'd want to move the 8 too far, would you?
Speaking
Ideally.
about being up, Michael's just given me the nod, so I'll catch you in a bit.
Alright. Best of luck, John. So just again that's just me by myself. Got John just leaving the player's game, so once again the best of luck to him. Just wondering what I'm going to do after this game. I'm just kind of talking out loud, by the way, so don't mind me. If this has got nothing to do with the game, then feel free to yell at me. Just wondering whether I wanted to go for a run after this game or whether I'm going to do it tomorrow morning. I've got the benefit of the fact that tomorrow's games start at 10 in the morning, so I mean it's a Sunday morning, so a lot of people would rather wake up later to watch pool, which I think is really good, and that Mike's introduced the later start on Sunday morning because it gives people more of a lie-in, and if they wanted to do something earlier in the morning they can. I don't think Adam will be overly happy with that. I will guess that he wanted to be off the rail more. So he's left himself pretty much dead straight on that ball and bulk. But I mean, also the 10 o'clock start gives me a chance to wake up a touch earlier myself, go for a run, have a shower and be back here at 10, so ball's in my court really. Used the rail very well there, but He didn't quite get the spread into the middle of the table that he would have wanted. This is the double, and those are all open for Simon, so missed position on the ball before that proved costly. It wasn't the double that he missed, that was the costly one. It was the fact that he missed the position on the ball in bulk and had to fight to get position back and couldn't get it. And that more than you missed pot is what costs.
Yeah.
So these should be like shelling peas for Simon. Got choice of the 2 yellows, but if he doesn't like the one on the left, he can always take the one into the middle pocket and re-establish a good angle on the one on the left. In fact, he's decides he's okay with the one on the left. Pots it well. That's probably why. Because you get nice and straight on that, and you get nice and straight on the black. So excellent description there by Simon of maintaining or getting back that straight line towards the end of the frame. You want it straight because you want it to be as basic as possible, and Simon, better than almost anybody else that I know of who plays, is an exponent of that, because he just makes that end bit of the clearance so much easier. So you're not having to play a real good shot to get on the 8 or a real good shot on the 8. You're basically leaving yourself straight forward and not having to extend too much. So Simon also will get the benefit of the break here. 6-4 up. Winner, as I mentioned before, will move directly into the quarterfinals. The loser is not out of the tournament. The loser will instead play an extra game to get themselves back into the quarterfinals, which becomes the loser's qualification round. So this race to 8, so every game on the loser's side is a race to 7. So if Simon does go on to win this game, he will be playing again tomorrow, and the loser will play at 6 o'clock to be in with a shot at playing tomorrow. I don't think he would have minded being on that plant there. If he'd been straight on for the plant, then that would have been more than acceptable. As it is, he hits it fine enough so that he can come back to roughly that same angle that he wanted. The red in the middle of the table there, with the black and the yellow and the two balls either side of it, that one will pass to the bottom right pocket. So the thing is here for Simon is that you want to get on that one furthest up table from our view. Oh, look at this. It doesn't want that to sit on the rail though. And you can have a guess at roughly where it's gone. So I mean, this is still on for Simon, but it's just that trace more difficult now. You see, he's ended up off angle on this because of the fact that he's had to, instead of being straight on it, he had to run into it. And you still expect him to clear this, but he's made it a trace harder now for himself. But as Simon does so well, look at this. Look at this. You could write a book. Show people this tape on how you re-establish position after being out of position. Simon Singleton onto the hill, 7-4. Again, what a difference a break makes. Even if it's 5 minutes. It's 4-all before the table was checked. Nuggety, nasty frame before that. And everything after that's been clear as day, and Simon's just roared out to a 7-4 lead. And ball off the break. So immediately Adam with a chance to redress some of this balance here. Imagine, but you wouldn't imagine, you'd know he'd be going yellows because the reds are just no good from here. This is where that clinicality comes in. He's been lacking it of late. It's where Simon's excelled. It's generally where Simon does excel over everybody else, is just his clinicality with the match on the line. So Adam's going to have to come up with a big finish here, and 7-5, and then after that Simon to break, and you kind of leave it up to his hands, but at least you get another frame for something else to happen. So I think he's okay here. It looks extremely tight from this view though, whether that yellow more in the middle of the table will go. He just puts a trace of right on it, as he's done there. So you can cue it dead straight, and the right actually kicks it into the pocket. It's only very subtle. It's only about half the width of the pocket, but it's that subtlety you sometimes need. Oh, that's a lovely bit of cueing. You see the inside English to straighten it up off the rail. Exhibit A right there. See, a lot of players, they see that and they think they've got to put the other side on it, but the other side actually takes the cue ball away from that straight up and down line. So you end up somewhere near the rail, and so you end up either not on one of those two yellows that he's looking at that are close together. You end up having to play a cut on the one on the left, and that takes you away from the map that you've just drawn, if that makes any sense. So you want to, if you can, you'll want to screw back and just touch the black here and end up being on the second of those two yellows from there, but he's looked away from that now. Oh, yucky. I think he wanted to get a piece of that off the rail rather than running full ball behind it. Now he might have to come up with something special here, and you never want to be in this position. Oh, shot. He's come up with it here though. Could that be his ticket back into the game? Oh, get away from the red. Oh, this is touchy. Get your fingers up. Difficult cueing or not. This is not bad. Potted the ball. Good position on the black. Just needs to cap it off. And this he does. Wonderful finish that, under all the pressure that you could put on a man. Simon's got to play another frame. He's got to play another frame here, so Adam Shaw's done a brilliant job there of keeping himself in this match. It's a lovely room view. I absolutely love this view, by the way. You can see everyone around the table. You can feel the expectation in the room too, and you know when there's people watching around the streaming table, it's a good match, and this has been a really good match. Ball off the break, did he, or has he gone dry? Would you believe it? He's gone dry. This is what you play for. Adam Shaw, what have you got? Have you got another clearance in you? You can clear this, and then it's your break. But you live in the now. Make a good shot now. Table's not looking that flash, considering the fact that the balls have all spread quite well. He might have to take the one on the right here, the one he's looking at now for the reds. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. That could very well be the end of it. He got a slice of luck there, did Simon. Even though he didn't pot a ball off the break, he left enough of them tied up and untidy so that Adam had to play a big shot to establish a set. And for once, Adam couldn't make the play. Simon's going to have a bit of time to look around the table. Still 23 minutes to go in this game, by the way, so there's no time pressure anyway. Use all the time you're allowed. He's just going to have a play with these. He's just... Oh, I tell you what, he might have made a goof there. He hasn't shut the door at all, has he? He's left it ajar. I genuinely think he's let Adam off the hook here. We'll find out if he has. This will be a massive relief if Adam can pot a ball here. And he was playing that to dissuade him from reds, but he's actually left himself a good red on here. So there you go, he's on reds, which is exactly what Simon didn't want. He could have had yellows as well if he really wanted to, but I mean reds are, you have a look at them, they are the better set by some distance. He made his mind up, did Simon, that he didn't have a good enough shot on the reds to play them, so...
Adam's finished as well, he won 7. I don't know, 8, I don't know what the...
Oh, great shot. He's ended up on the dance floor here. He's on the correct side of the table in terms of table halves. Here's where your control comes, and everything now should be easy, but you've got to make sure you kill it so that it remains easy. How's your nerves? How are you feeling? Taking the top of those reds on the left. So that's here now. I want to stay away from this yellow that's next to the red here. If we can just play a little stun type shot here. It ends up parking it nicely there. Almost sort of between the black and that yellow. So that he's got a good route through for this red. Bounces up down table quite nicely there. Just a wee stun shot. And should be just another stun shot again, so... He's got one more. Yes, he does. So Adam Shaw, after being 7-4 down, now 7-6. And what do you know? He's got the break. It's Adam to break, so Simon, when he had the break to win the match, the players accidentally bump into each other. He couldn't make a ball. Can Adam reverse that trend, make a ball off the break, and then we'll find out if we're going hill-hill. If you want to hit one flush, here's the one. This is the one, because you don't get another break after this. 14th frame, this is. Where are they going? He got one. He got one. They've all opened up nicely for him too, so either ball you set you take, you'd have to bank on yellows from here. And you've got a number of good starters. You've got one that's tying a red up, which is easy enough to get on anyway because it's at the right end of the table for where the other yellows are. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer really. If you look to take yellows, you look to take the one, as I change view, top right of your screen. And then if he can land roughly on line with where the ball is, then he can take the one that's covering the red, get out for the rest of the yellows, and then he's away. That would be what he's thinking right now, and he's got to make a good shot on this. He's got to make sure he doesn't hit that other yellow and bulk on the way out. Yeah, no, he's done that well. If he doesn't like queuing over the balls, he can take the one into the middle pocket here. There's probably a good reroute here if he does that, because he's still well and truly on a ball, no matter which way he plays that. But he actually might be able to go between the two reds to queue here, which, if that is possible, he may have convinced him to take that shot, but no, he's going for the one in the middle. There's a little bump on the red there to keep a decent angle here. I just wonder whether he might play this with a trace of right here to try and get the other side of this yellow. You see how he's gotten either just straight or the other side of the yellow? So he's playing the cue ball towards the bottom bit of the table, as we see. Just looking to see if that yellow next to the black spot passes the red. Because if it doesn't, then he may have to cheat the pocket here. Just use a side view to see how straight this is. I mean, it looks pretty straight from here, and it looks pretty straight from here, so there's a very small amount of pocket that he can rip off here if he needs to. He's able to stun it out quite nicely, so whether it was just off straight or whether he was successfully able to use the side to make the ball deviate from a straight path, he's actually done a good job of that. Two options here in terms of position on the last yellow. It'll be the yellow next to the black as the last one. Oh, he got a good kiss off the red there. I think he was looking to miss that red and be a bit straighter, but this will work as well. He's going to go away from the black here, so he may play this with right to try and check it up. If he does that, then he's got to be careful that he corrects for the angle for the pot, and that he doesn't sort of slide off and still go too far down table. He's checked it up quite well there, so I mean this is exactly what you want. I mean this to get to Hill. And we will have bonus pole. Well done, Adam Shaw. Took your chances, you took your luck, whatever luck you had. You're now on the hill alongside Simon Singleton.
The loser of this goes to loser qualification and plays either Devon or Healy.
Okay, so just quite quickly before this frame commences, Adam Lilly is victorious over Kiri Michaelides as well, but that game hasn't actually gone final on Q-score yet. But never mind that, this is where it's at. Hill, Simon to break, let's get it! Let's get it. Can he get one off the break? Oh, the red tried, but no. The ball's trying to help it into the pocket, but no, it stays up. Now then, once again, Adam Shaw with a chance to clear for the win. It's not a spectacular looking table, it must be said, but you've got to be favouring reds here. You've got to be favouring reds as long as you make that first ball, because you can, if you want to, move the yellow here, and you take that red right to the right in bulk first, and then play that one closest to the cue ball into the yellow, deflect off the yellow pot and release that red that's next to it. But you've got to be concentrating on this shot first. Get this one first. She has done. He's gone in behind slightly on the other side of the table, so already possibly out of position, but I mean Simon did a good scramble before to get to 7-4 up, so it only takes one good shot from here and you're back onto a good line. Just needs to focus all his attention here on which ball he wants to play, and B, how exactly he wants to play it. Steve Denton and Baden Jackson's game has just gone hill as well. So after each of those frames in these games, there will be no more. Made the pot. Now there's a possibility that you play that red, the one he's queuing up now, you play that red, cannon the cue ball into the yellow, and the yellow goes into the red over the hole, and you promote that first red you hit. If you're liking it, if you're really liking it, you play it. I mean, the way Adam's been playing these last few frames, I would not think twice about him playing this. Okay, the red did go onto the red. I didn't actually think that shot was on. I thought he was going to use the yellow to pot it. It goes to show you what a difference a few mil makes. Everything becomes tough here though. They keep making good shots. Oh, he's missed one. Has he gotten lucky? Oh, I think he's gotten away with it. We will of course find out after Simon's shot, but I think he might have ripped one off here. Oh, now then. And if you're Simon here, I mean, you've got to be thinking, how do I not leave a good shot? Leave them the toughest possible shot I can. Do I shell the sword and go with the pen? Or do I bring the sword out and try for a shot? At that time in the frame, I think cooler heads need to prevail here. I'm guessing he'll be looking at the best safety he can play. The way he's cueing this aggressively, he might be going for it. He's gone for it and he's got it. Look at this. Now, how are you feeling? Who needs to play safety when you can play like that? Got a fair bit of table he can play into here. Oh, I don't think he wanted to hit the black though. He's still on one. He's still on that yellow that's not immediately over that middle pocket. And he could also play a plant onto the one that is. But it just goes to show you again, he's made things harder for himself than he needs to. Now can he get that scrambling going? We can there. He's re-established a good line for himself too. Of interest is whether that yellow near the red actually passes the red. I mean, he's probably going to move it so it does. Just the subtlest of touches to move it so it does pass. Now you wonder what you do, up and down the table, or do you play it as slowly as you can and trust the table? So we've seen this table do a few wonky things towards the middle pockets here. This is why they needed the table looked at, because there was a shot to the opposite middle corner pocket that had Simon looking at the table thinking, this is not right. Loading it up with right, so he's not going to play it hella slow. He's going to try and squeeze it back. He's controlled that so well. He just needs to avoid the snooker. Well, he's played into the black to release, so there's a bit of risk there, but he's controlled it very well. Now you've got to be wondering, is he going to play it with right hand side or left hand side? Right hand side goes to the bottom rail that you can see. Left hand side will go between those two reds. Between the two reds he goes, and this is pretty good for the corner pocket. He just needs to make one more shot and he's into the quarterfinals. This for the match. How's it looking? It's napped off into the jaw, but it still goes. Simon Singleton wins an absolute thriller of a match here. Hill, could it get any better at this stage?
We'll be back on new stream in about 10 minutes time.
Alright, so 10 minutes time we will be back with a new stream. You've got 20 minutes until your next match. I hope you've enjoyed this one as I have. More excellent pool to be played today, so please stay close to your devices and we will hopefully see you in 10 minutes.